Thank you to all army around the world for your endless love, your unwavering support, and your warmth that continues to make every step of BTS shine brighter. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, so you never miss a single magical moment, especially from the one and only shining star, Park Jimin. That morning, the air at Incheon Airport felt slightly different. The sky was still covered with soft clouds, and the sound of footsteps echoed in a slow, steady rhythm. But the moment the glass doors slid open, the entire terminal seemed to hold its breath. He appeared, light steps, head slightly bowed, eyes hidden behind dark glasses. Yes, it was Jimin, and as always, it took only seconds for the ordinary to turn extraordinary. Cameras flashed, soft gasps filled the air, and fans who had been waiting since dawn tried to contain their excitement, afraid to be too loud, yet unable to hide their awe. Was this just another airport appearance? Or does every one of Jimin's arrivals carry an aura that can't be explained by reason? The first look, silence that speaks. The first moment Jimin entered the terminal, everything around him seemed to slow down. He looked around gently, as if searching for something, maybe the direction of his gate, or maybe silently greeting the world. That gaze lasted only a few seconds, but it was enough to quiet every camera shutter. His eyes carried stories of calmness, of quiet strength, of kindness. Then, a small smile curved his lips. It wasn't posed, it was real. The same smile the whole world has come to know as Jimin's soft signature. He radiates peace, one fan whispered. It's like he carries light with him. But what kind of light could make a person glow even in a crowded place like this? Steps that calmed the world. Jimin began to walk, pulling a small black suitcase behind him. His pace was steady, yet every movement looked poetic, not too fast, not too slow. There was rhythm in the way he moved, a natural flow that seemed to synchronize with the world around him. Fans who captured the moment from afar commented, "He doesn't walk, he glides." And perhaps that's true, because whenever Jimin walks, the air itself seems to soften. Is it a hidden magnetic pull he has? Or is it the result of years of discipline and grace, making him effortlessly perfect in even the simplest things, like walking through an airport hallway? The smile that stops time. One of the most viral moments that day came when Jimin turned toward a group of young ARMY standing quietly near a corner. They waved hesitantly, afraid to make noise. Then it happened. Jimin paused, lifted his hand slightly, and smiled. That smile changed everything. Even the airport staff nearby couldn't help but look, as if time itself slowed just for that one gentle expression. Does Jimin know how much that tiny moment means to his fans? Or does that smile simply come naturally, a reflection of the warmth he carries for everyone who looks his way? Effortlessly stylish, endlessly captivating. That morning, Jimin wore a cream oversized jacket, a plain white t-shirt, loose black pants, and clean white sneakers. On his head, a gray beanie hid part of his darker hair. Simple, yet somehow, perfection. The soft sunlight pouring through the glass walls fell right on his shoulders, casting a halo-like glow as he walked. Photographers later said they didn't need to edit their pictures. Everything already looked perfect in the frame. One of them admitted, was it luck, or does nature itself know when to shine brighter? Right when Jimin passes by, the quiet that holds 1,000 stories. Even with the noise of the crowd, Jimin stayed quiet and graceful. He bowed politely whenever someone called his name, never rushing, never ignoring. Every little movement, the way he adjusted his bag strap, looked up at the departure board, or moved his hand, seemed filled with calm purpose. Some fans later said they felt something different about his aura that day. He looked peaceful, but deep. One army tweeted, like someone heading towards something meaningful. Was he flying for a new project? Or could this journey have a personal meaning? One only he understands. Gentleness amid the spotlight. When he reached the security checkpoint, Jimin stopped briefly to talk to the staff. He smiled, bowed a little, and softly said thank you. It was nothing grand, yet people nearby felt the atmosphere change instantly. Even a few children walking by stopped to stare in awe, and Jimin, noticing them, gave a small wave. That simple act made everyone around him smile. Is this why fans call him the sunshine of BTS? Because no matter where he is, even in the cold, sterile light of an airport, he brings warmth. Just before entering the boarding gate, Jimin turned around one last time. His eyes met the crowd of army still standing behind the barricades. He raised his hand in a soft, quiet gesture, not a big wave, but something more meaningful, as if saying, "See you soon." And for a second, the world seemed to stop. No one spoke. Only the faint echo of camera shutters filled the air. That moment became the photograph that traveled around the world. Jimin turning back with sunlight on his face. A small smile, a calm gaze, a step that moved away, but left light behind. Was it just another goodbye, or did that look carry a silent message, one that only his heart could translate? As his plane took off, the terminal slowly returned to its normal rhythm, but for some reason, the path he walked through still felt different. Fans sitting on the benches continued to look at the gate, as if unwilling to leave. Some even posted online, "It feels like I left a piece of my heart there." That's what Jimin does. He doesn't just pass by, he leaves a trace, a warmth you can't see but can deeply feel. Is that why he always seems to glow at the airport? Because his presence isn't about fashion or fame, it's about sincerity. Every glance, every step, every second caught on camera tells the same truth. Jimin's perfection doesn't come from appearance, it comes from authenticity. He walks with grace, speaks through silence, and leaves behind a sense of love in every place he passes. The airplane cabin was quiet, dimly lit, and filled with the soft hum of engines. Jimin sat by the window, his gaze fixed on the clouds drifting slowly beneath him. The chaos of cameras, the cheers, and the flashes of light had all faded, replaced by a peaceful silence that only he could understand. For a moment, he lifted his mask slightly, letting out a slow breath as if releasing all the energy he had carried through the airport. His reflection on the window looked calm, almost serene, yet behind those eyes, there was always a depth that seemed to hold thousands of thoughts. What was Jimin thinking as he looked down at the world below? Was he remembering the fans who waved behind the glass barrier, or the faint echoes of their voices calling his name? Perhaps he was simply enjoying the rare silence, a pause between the chaos of fame and the quiet of his own world. He reached for his phone, scrolled briefly, then smiled, a small, genuine curve that softened his entire face. There was no one beside him to see it, but it felt as though that smile was meant for someone far away, maybe for every army who had stood in the cold that morning just to see him for a few seconds. It was that kind of smile, the one that said, "I remember you." Outside the window, the sunlight changed hue, turning from gold to pale silver. The clouds shimmered faintly, and for a fleeting second, it looked as if the light outside was answering the glow inside him. It wasn't bright, but warm, the kind of light that doesn't blind, only comforts. Jimin leaned back, closed his eyes for a brief moment, and breathed in deeply. The weight of expectations, the endless schedules, the eyes watching his every move, all melted away. What remained was simply him, Park Jimin, the boy who still finds beauty in small things, who still bows to strangers, who still smiles even when tired. And maybe that's why the world sees him differently, because beneath the fame, there's still the same gentle soul who once said, "If my smile can make someone's day a little better, then that's enough for me." Hours later, as the plane began to descend, the sunlight hit his face once again, soft and golden. It framed him like a quiet halo. To anyone passing by, it might have been just a trick of light, but to those who've watched him long enough, they'd know Jimin doesn't borrow light, he carries it. As he prepared to step off the plane, his reflection on the cabin window shimmered one last time, calm, grounded, and radiant. The same energy that made the airport glow now followed him into another country, another day, another chapter, and somewhere far below, armies scrolling through pictures of him at the airport felt it again. That warmth, that strange comfort, as if he was still walking among them. Because maybe that's the truth about Jimin. He doesn't just shine in the spotlight, he leaves pieces of his light wherever he goes.